Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
Hello.
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? It's Big Mike. The train is on the tracks. We are traveling comfortably here in 2023. MJF, can you stop powerbombing people on your knee? That looks like
that was good. I was like, where are you going with that one?
But someone needs to track all these catchphrases to see if we actually get like 52 different ones.
I saw it last night, and
yeah,
you know I don't like to give him credit for much, but it looks painful, but to him too.
It
does. Powerbomb on his own knee.
Cannot be good. Yeah. So. It was. It's not often that you hear people chanting bullshit at the end of an AEW show, but man, you got the fans invested when you do. So,
hey, you know what? I'm glad you said that because that was my point. I was like, all of you are mad at talking about this. Do you see how that's working?
Yes. The claim could not hold it forever. Yes.
No, they couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't the only title that's changed hands the last week. Christopher Moore, hey, what is up?
Chris, what's going on, man?
Hello, Christopher.
Than's for joining us.
That's my homie up in Dallas.
Yeah, nice.
Awesome. We are going to recap NXT Vengeance Day, which, let's face it, everyone has stepped up their pay-per-view game, right? We're going to talk about
Thank you, New Japan.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Talk a bunch about MPW KickStart My Heart, the event this weekend that Mike and Tommy are going to be attending. I am going to be busy with softball and baseball all damn day. Then we'll also be discussing before that a bit of wrestling news as well. So, and that's actually where we're going to start the show because there's a little bit of it this week. See, Chris, do y'all, a fellow geek, join the show? I mean, we're all geeks here, right? That's kind of the point. So, yeah.
We need to work that out. I'll talk to you guys about it. He's really cool. He's very much a wrestling, and all kinds of nerds. He fit in well with us.
Nice. Well, wrestling news wise, obviously the biggest story I think in the world of wrestling has been Jerry the King Lawler. A few days ago, was found unresponsive, or was rushed to a hospital, I should say, after suffering a stroke. Yeah. Latest news that I've seen is that his recovery is going well. He's going to be going through some speech therapy, a little physical therapy as well, to gain, back some of the just some of the motor skills he lost basically from the stroke.
Motor functions and the
motor function. Yeah, he seems to be in good spirits. Personally, I know how hard it is. I have an uncle who had a stroke years ago, and I haven't seen him in a while, but he lives up in Indiana. But he puts messages on Facebook or sends stuff to the family, and you kind of have to decipher them because the motor skills aren't always there too. Yeah. So it's going to be a long road to recovery, and hard to believe, isn't it been like almost 10 years since he had that heart attack on live television? How long has it been since?
Yeah, pretty close at this point.
Yeah,
I think it's over because that was had to be 2012, 2013 when that happened, right?
Yeah,
that was right in the middle of Michael Cole's heel announcer run, and then that immediately right when that happened, he just cut that off altogether. Yeah.
David, thanks for joining. The latest news I got is he was back home for. Oh, that's good news then. If he's back home,
right. And I think he's gonna have to start going, like you said.
That's good. That's
for him at home. So
you're gonna have to go through like you said, physical therapy and some of that kind of stuff. So.
We start to feel old yet when we see like some of these legends like this going through these types of health problems, So
I mean,
yeah.
You know what makes me feel old is seeing Shawn Michaels at all at this. That's when I feel old.
No. Okay. Let me point this out. We've all been watching wrestling a long time, and we remember Rey Mysterio when he was unmasked in WCW, right? And WWE tries to make you forget that for the most part. So with the Royal Rumble the other weekend, you know, a lot of videos and stuff are popping up, and a lot of my TikTok For You page started having people that were posting stuff from the Rumble. And there was this one dude who was at the airport, and a bunch of his videos popped out where he was like gifting the WWE wrestlers like beanies or something, and then getting them to sign one of the chairs from the Rumble. I think it was when they were leaving. He ran into Mysterio unmasked.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what he looks like unmasked. What I didn't realize, think about, is his age, basically 30, 20 years, 25 years later. And he's not that young kid looking like a little 12-year-old when he's unmasked.
Yeah.
His face, like, oh crap, that's right. He ages. Like, you forget that under the mask and with the way he moves. But like, and I don't mean this to be rude. I really don't mean it to be rude. But like, oh, okay, he looks older. Like it's weird because he doesn't show his face in WWE since he's been there pretty much. We just remember from his WCW time. But yeah, that was weird.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
Mike, you had another piece of news you saw regarding AEW and a deal with ESPN, but not in the US.
So apparently AEW has made an agreement to be shown on ESPN in, I believe it's Australia, New Zealand, and Australia, New Zealand, and the Pacific Islands. So pretty cool for them. That's always strange to me. Like I know I hear all the time, but like when different things have different deals in different countries, WWE is like, what is it, like TSN in Canada? I don't know if it's still TSN in Canada, and on different channels in England and stuff. So that's always weird to me. But yeah, so cool for them though, to be on an ESPN channel over there. I assume that's ESPN's still pretty big, even over on that side of the globe. So again, and the more you can get AEW globally, the better it is for them. They can start building again. Not to go off on this tangent, but like they're still so young when we complain about them compared to WWE, or we give them credit for stuff or whatever, but like not even fully 5 years old.
Not even.
So all this expansion is nothing but good for them, obviously, and build a global fan base as you keep going.
Yeah,
I like it. Like to see that. So
yeah.
Any other wrestlers we might have missed out there? Does anyone can think of anything right now? So
only thing I can think of is one thing that popped up, I think probably Saturday or Sunday, was something Ric Flair said, like, everyone's talking about WWE right now. Not a lot of people were talking about AEW. But my counter to that was, it's WrestleMania season.
Mm-hmm.
We should be talking about it right now. We're not talking about them in this 3-month stretch. They have horribly fallen off. But no, we're supposed to be talking about them. And my problem is, and I'll be fair on both sides, the AEW diehards and the WWE diehards. I hate both sides of this because AEW diehards get really emotional. It's annoying. And the WWE diehards saying AEW will die this year finally. And it's like, guys, it's peaks and valleys. They just had their biggest story had a huge payoff in Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Quite frankly, I think AEW about WWE right now because that was a huge storyline. So I'm just like, ugh. Rick, I love you, but stop that.
In all fairness, I don't really listen to or believe anything from Ric Flair or Booker T when it comes to AEW because it's never positive.
Yeah, it's true too.
And they're both. I mean, I know Flair was technically released, but he was supposed to go to AEW, if you remember, and then
all that
didn't work out because of that.
Culture.
So that didn't work out.
I do remember. Oh, damn, I lost my train of thought. Never mind. Ignore me.
Okay. Well, one other thing then, just kind of other news from this week, and I guess it's WWE also. Shout out to the main event of Monday Night Raw, because not only was it a women's cage match on Raw, it was Becky, it was Bayley. Why are you laughing? It was a great event. It was Dakota, it was Io, and then Lita shows up. I mean, that's a spectacular main event. I don't know why you're laughing, man.
No reason. I just I thought it was a joke I heard earlier.
I won't call it a Monday Night War, Damon. This is more just, Die Hard versus Die Hard. And the difference is, like, back then, we really didn't have, like, so much presence of it on social media, internet sort of thing, diehards and stuff with easy access to share their opinions.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you really only had, like, WWE versus WCW among fans if, like, you were talking about it at, well, in our case, school. But, nowadays, I think it's just more of, and there's a reason why you can't like both. You have your opinions on which one's better, but yeah, I mean,
we all do.
Yeah. I mean, it took me about 3 years, but I like both again.
Yeah. Once Vince McMahon retired, pulled a Tom Brady retired the first time. It felt like it's gotten better. So it's enjoyable, but we forget it's not just WWE and AEW. Impact has its presence. New Japan. Making a bigger name for itself too, and even AAA, is making a case for some of the work they're doing too.
GCW, they're getting Ibushi.
GCW,
coming up in I think Mania weekend or something like that.
So
yeah, GCW really did fill that gap of indie, like a really big indie promotion. Yeah. It's good. It's good for everybody, really.
NWA, but there's still a bunch out there, man.
NWA, here.
All right, well, let's move into speaking of something WWE wise, but it's owned by WWE, and that is NXT Vengeance Day. Speaking of something that is on its way back up, right? Because NXT, of course, had its 2.0 years. Thankfully, that's gone away. But Vengeance Day, which is becoming their annual post Royal Rumble pay-per-view premium live event, whatever the hell you want to call it. Not a bad show. Hell of a showing, and set up a lot of stuff that happened this past Tuesday. We can talk about as well. Very quickly though, title change that did happen on this. There's a couple. Both of the tag team titles changed hands.
Both of them.
Yes,
I remember. Okay, full disclosure, I didn't watch the full show yet. I saw some clips. But I did. But I read the results. I was like, right about anything. I couldn't remember anything more except I remember I was wrong about Until I saw the list now, I thought I got everything wrong except for Braun Breaker. I think I said he was going to retain. I think that's what the old guy said.
I think you got the two main titles.
That's all I got right was Roxanne Perez and Braun Breaker.
Roxanne Perez. That's right. That's right.
So, okay. Well, David, to be honest, I missed those years. So, yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So, I get what you mean there.
Oh, believe me, the last button got a workout on my remote for sure.
Sure.
I was one of those guys that flipped from Mick Foley winning the championship over to see the end of of Nitro and the finger poke of doom. How much of a joke that was. Yeah. So,
you real quick, you just mentioned a second earlier about, we didn't have the social media back then.
Mm-hmm.
I know it'd be fun because of all the go back and forth, but could you imagine the memes that could have come out of events from the Attitude Era and the Nitro Era? Like finger poke of doom memes, Katie Vick memes.
Well, just the signs we saw in the arena the following Raw, Mankind put this button in the seat, so
yeah.
I guess you're right. The signs were like the memes of the time.
They were so much more prevalent back then,
So
yeah, WWE had the signs in the stands, and WCW had fans throwing crap in the ring at NWO, and they kind of encouraged it too when you think about it.
Yeah, which was weird, but okay.
But yeah, Vengeance Day. I think I'll kind of start with this. The most surprising thing to me was not that Carmelo Hayes won. It's that he went 2-0. You hardly ever see that in a 2 out of 3 falls match on an event. I'm kind of wondering what this means for Apollo Crews. He's fallen off quite a bit. Like, what are they doing with him? Is it time for him to move on from WWE NXT or anything like that?
I don't know. I think part of it is just that they're pushing Carmelo Hayes to the moon.
Right.
Honestly, to me, I almost feel like he's main roster ready, except for the fact that they're sending him after Broad now, which should be a good championship feud. I think that's part of it. And like Apollo, like Dabo, what's his name? Dabo Kato came back and attacked him or whatever. And, that kind of goes back to his Nigerian prince thing for a while.
That was random.
It's just, he was pretty big on the indies because of his move and stuff. He's just never quite found a character WWE. He maybe.
I thought we were talking. Why are you talking about Ricochet? Oh, you're talking about Bruce still. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wow. I mean, you're not wrong, but wow. I don't know. I hope to continue to use him, but if not, this is something we can get into later. I think he would be fine though to go on the indies and stuff. So maybe it is. I don't know. But part of it, I think, is just Carmelo Hayes. Like that guy's a star in the making for them.
Yeah, but it just feels more and more like they're using Apollo Crews to enhance everybody else. He's become a jobber talent, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah,
So.
Well, that's how I've been feeling about Ricochet. Like I thought I even said Ricochet because I feel about him. It's like everyone's like his character and stuff. I was like, well, okay, I get that. Give him a character then. It feels like if they tried a little harder in giving him one, he'd do it. I mean, in freaking Underground, he was Prince Puma. That he was a luchador in a mask. That worked. Okay, do that again or do so. I don't know. Just do something. Someone try. God. Sorry.
Well, I mean, if it's him versus
1 minute warning. Okay.
if it's him versus Logan Paul in WrestleMania, we know what kind of spot we're going to be getting, but potentially a lot more of. So
I mean, honestly, again, I'm glad I was there live because we had no idea what the hell they were about to do, and so honestly, I can't even front no more. I was like, you know what? Yeah, give me that part again because that was pretty awesome. I can't even lie.
Okay, do you remember what was it? Was it Slam Ball, where it was like all the trampolines around the goal
Basketball.
or whatever?
I remember that. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
If Ricochet is going to fight Logan Paul at WrestleMania, which I don't think it was, it's just trampolines around the ring, and they're going to be jumping off and crap because again. That Rumble spot made no sense other than it was the most spectacular thing you had seen in forever. Made no sense. So if you're going to do it, go all in. Trampolines and jumping things all around the ring and just jump into each other over and over.
They have a match at Urban Era or Ground Control.
Yes.
Straight up
I was going to say that. But in their defense, though, can we admit all this jumping around makes no sense? Goes all the way back to RVD and ECW. I feel like he started it, and like everyone else is like, "Oh, we can be much more ridiculous." So,
I mean, a lot of the luchadors in a sense, but yeah, RVD, luchadors, all of them, like,
yeah,
it's got to.
I think I always bring that point up. Whenever complains about like the flippy floppy stuff, I just say, "Wow, you've never watched a lucha match, have you?"
They're spectacular.
Any other results from this show stand out to you guys?
Roxy's retained, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean that was cool. The women. I chose the women's match, so maybe it's not the result. I'm kind of disappointed in the fallout, which I guess we could talk about afterwards, or if you want to talk about it. It did bring Bayley to NXT, which was cool, and it did recreate one of their most famous segments in WWE history. On that end of it, the door I assume was supposed to break in.
I mean, I don't know because
I don't know, man.
The follow-up kick afterward, so
well, I feel like that she did that because she didn't go through the door.
Yeah,
but it made it poor Gigi, but it made it better for the overall aesthetic of the angle. But.
Yeah,
I have a two-part theory of why that happened that way. A, it's because it was like she said, "Okay, you're only gonna kick me once, right? The good one." And B, when Gigi was on the Independents as Priscilla Kelly, she wasn't a lot of like hardcore matches and segments and stuff. So I feel like she was just like, "Oh, I haven't done this in about 5-6 years. Do that real quick."
Yeah, we saw the results on social media. That was not pretty.
Yeah,
no.
The first of all, that segment that was yesterday on Ding Dong Hello, or 2 days ago, excuse me. Yeah. I know it's a recreation of that classic Shawn Michaels barbershop. Shawn Michaels turning on Jannetty. but it was so well done. Like you kind of,
I really did like it.
Okay, I know they're recreating everything like almost to the T, but it was great.
They're good homages. I will give you that.
Even Bailey's reaction was very much like Beefcake's reaction.
Climbing on the couch, like, oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was like, oh, let me get out of the way, you know.
I feel like in wrestling, everyone said it before. Whatever, a lot of things that have been done before, and I'm like, if you do it well, then who cares? Because look, if you can give me another match that looks like Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat at WrestleMania 3, copy that shit till you get tired of it, because that's one of the best matches of all time. I don't care. So it's just like, I mean, if you could do it well and get memorable, because I think that's another reason why I think the kick was real. They had to make it memorable. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Gigi's like, yeah, go ahead and kick me in the head one good time. Go for it. It's gonna be, and it's like, and I'll post on social media looking sad, and I'll get sympathy, and therefore this feud will be kicked off the right way. And I feel like that's just what happened. Yeah. I feel like there's some wrestlers who be like, hey, this is gonna hurt. I already know that going in. Let's do it, and that's just how. So
you mean every Darby Allin match?
Yeah.
So, okay, I got Darby Allin to everyone backstage. Hey, we have a match today. I want you, and I'm not kidding when I say this, to beat the ever-loving shit out of me. No. You didn't hear me.
I think it does it more exciting. Like, dude, Ethan Page put me in a body bag and then throw me out of the ring. Like, I think he's excited about it.
Well, I don't know if you guys ever heard this story real quick segue. Spike Dudley talks about when Undertaker chokeslammed him outside from the ring door.
Yeah.
And at first, he didn't want to do it. And Spike said, no, why? Is he like, I guess somehow practiced with him and showed him that it's her, but I'll be okay. And so he had to talk Undertaker. And he was like, okay, if you say so. I feel like that's Darby Allin in every conversation he's ever had in wrestling.
There was some stuff in that famous Hell in a Cell match that Taker had to be talked into by Mankind as well.
There's not one aspect of that I don't believe. I feel like
Well, if history is any indication, we know who's going to have the successful singles career between Toxic Attraction now, or what used to be Toxic Attraction. So
and that's interesting, because I'll admit that I don't watch the weekly NXT on a normal basis. So when I've seen Toxic Attraction, it's been at the event, the special events, the pay-per-views, PLEs, whatever you want to call them. But it seems from the crowd and people online that a lot of people feel like JC Jane is the one ready to break out. So it is really interesting, like you said, the way they did that. Obviously, she's playing the Shawn Michaels role.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see where she goes from there. Does she record a song, "Sexy Girl" or something? Her own song?
But I'm saying yes, do that, because that'd be awesome. So
pretty funny.
And this is me as a diehard Gigi supporter, because I didn't meet her as Priscilla Kelly, and I'm Priscilla Kelly biased. So it's like, I feel like if she sings her own theme song just for that arrogant thing, that I wouldn't stop laughing, because that'd be amazing. So yeah.
And like you said, Gigi's got built-in babyface sympathy now. So
yeah, she does. Like, absolutely.
All right. As far as our results on this event, Tommy went 2-4, I went 3-3, and Mike 4-2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't watch the weekly show, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Hey, kind of works out, right?
I'm still shocked I got 2 of those right. I was like, wow, I was wrong. Repeat, amazing.
We can get to our WrestleCast ratings now. 0 to 5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being a December's member. Tommy, do you feel comfortable rating this? I know you say you haven't seen the whole thing yet, but
nah. I'll abstain this time.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna give this a 4 for now. I mean, honestly, like maybe history will judge us a little bit better, but maybe it's just my standards for NXT have been so high over history. I expect something to build up to. But I mean, it was a decent show. It advanced storylines in the right way. The women's championship was a great match, but unfortunately, it seemed to really push the storyline onto Tuesday. And I almost feel like where is Roxanne Perez going to go from here? Who is she going to challenge next? Really did enjoy the 4-way tag match. but I'm wondering if that pushes New Day back onto main roster television too.
And it's
as well.
Mania season, so it probably does. I was thinking about that too. You know.
So
yeah, that's true.
Braun Breaker, I'm at a point right now where I feel like, you know what? If he's gonna move to main roster, just have him go without losing the title and just have him just relinquish it. You know, I just don't feel like
no one's dead.
Yeah, you know. I mean, Asuka did it too. You know, so
you could. But again, it depends on the Carmelo Hayes things too, because that seems to be the next feud they have set up. So I mean, it could. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Braun shows up right after Mania on that usual like kind of refreshing the storylines, a new year for the main roster.
Yeah.
You mean when Thanos snaps his fingers and restarts the WWE universe? Yes.
Yeah. So
I've been waiting to use that joke for like a while now, and I keep forgetting every time we talked about this. And I was like, yes, I heard that joke now, and like
So 4 out of 5 for me. Mike, what about you?
I'm gonna go 4.25, and we haven't even talked about this yet. Wesley and Dijak.
Yeah.
Talk about channeling the spirit of NXT Black and Gold. I mean this in the best way possible. That was just like a super indie match of like ridiculous moves, tons of kickouts, and then Dijak pulling his Daryl Johnston impression with his finger like perpendicular from the knuckle. And then they're like, it's not broken. It just needs to be put back in. I was like, sure. And he's just taking pictures of it back, and it's all bent sideways. That match was way better than it had any right. Well, I mean, not that it had any right to be, but it was really crazy because, like, I picked Dijak, and that was the first match. So I'm sitting there going, all right, he hit the move, kick out. I was like, oh, my God. And then Wesley would hit the move, and I was like, all right. And then Dijak would kick out. And that was a hell of a way to start it. So I think this NXT has done a good job of backing away from 2.0, bringing in some of the elements that made NXT Black and Gold, but taking that and moving forward. So, it's got a lot of promise. And honestly, WWE has a lot of potential in the PC and the people in NXT. They have a lot of people. I know we criticize them a lot for, they just want it to be this WWE way and stuff, but there's a lot of talent there, and you're starting to see the people that are thriving under that kind of character, but WWE way, if you will. So,
right.
I think they have a lot going for them.
Yeah.
All right. That brings our overall rating to 4.125 for NXT Vengeance Day. So
Burnsy,
what is up? Good to see you there. I saw your message. So
yeah.
All right. Now we're going to move into a show that Mike and Tommy will be attending, and I'm sure if you are attending and watching this live in the chat, please let us know if you are. MPW Mission Pro Wrestling's KickStart My Heart, first event for this promotion in 2023. Appropriately, the weekend before Valentine's Day, and of course also Super Bowl weekend as well. They're doing this on Saturday, which is smart, right? They've announced 8 matches on the card. And by the way, if you want to go back and check out the Billy Madison Show podcast from last Thursday's show, Thunder Rosa does make another appearance, talks a bit about this show, and actually also takes a part in their weekly trivia game that she had such a fun time doing last time. And it's pretty hilarious. So it's called Big Dummy Trivia, but it's still funny. So lots of Disney and Star Wars trivia on that theme for that week. So, but anyway, she's entertaining as well. Had some great jokes on there at Chris Fuentes' expense. Definitely worth the listen just for that segment. So go check it out.
Oh man, making jokes at Chris Fuentes' expense. Talk about RCW memories.
Yes. It is weird to think about that because Chris Fuentes is on KISS, and then you got Joe Reinigle on ESPN San Antonio now doing the afternoon shows with Jason Minix, which is pretty crazy.
And for a second, I was his co-commissioner. I was alongside him, because Hernandez did that at the last minute, and I don't think anyone knew what was going on. I know.
Shout out real quick, Tommy, to Brandon Oliver from RCW. I saw the picture from last weekend you took with him and his family.
Yeah.
And then he puts it on Facebook, and he was like, "What was it like? This is RCW, man, Tommy."
Yeah.
No, it was even better than that. He said the only things that matter. And Tommy.
Yeah.
There you go. I knew it was
Yeah.
No,
and I know some people thinking like, oh man, that's messed up. And I couldn't stop laughing. I said, that is the funniest thing. That's so good.
That was awesome.
It was so great. I was like, oh man, that's fantastic. Please, more of that. Thank you.
Well, you guys are attending this show. What are you most looking forward to out of this event? Because this is a unique one. There's really no championships on the line here. This is just slate of matches here.
I mean, honestly, I think you got to start with the main event. They kind of started. I think
I'm gonna say that.
Not just for that reason.
Whatever, dude.
I don't know why you think there's only one reason that I care about this match.
And she liked the tweet!
I know. and did you notice I did mention you, man? Right?
Yep.
Didn't make any joke about it. Just supporting the people.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. No, but in all seriousness,
Mike.
because it is kind of funny because honestly, Jasmine's been a heel this whole time. Bougie Rally were fan favorites until they kind of turned recently and have been more heelish. And now they're like defenders of MPW because JP Harlow and his Men's Association of America, or whatever it is, or Men Against Girls Association. Oh, wait, never mind.
He-Man Woman Haters Club. Sorry, that's all.
Is this a reincarnation of No Ma'am from Married with Children?
Yes.
The
whole yeah, so I mean that's going to be cool, and with WWE and them always kind of fading away from intergender matches over the years. When we used to go see some of those shows where they were cool with intergender matches and they were great. So I kind of look forward to this. Just be interesting to see what comes of it, and kind of what that sets the tone for stories for the shows of MPWs over the rest of 2023. We talked about this before too, and Tommy's been there at the shows. Maddie, Jasmine, Michelle Green has only come there like once or twice, but there's a bunch of girls there from Mission Pro that are basically like Thunder Rosa's stamp of approval. Like she literally called them out a couple shows ago. So I think this will be interesting to see where the story goes. Also, I think Thunder Rosa is back on the road. I think she was in El Paso with them this past Thursday backstage. Just made me think of that. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good to know she's getting around there, getting back to traveling again. So,
Tommy, what about you? I have an idea of one match you're probably looking forward to.
If you're talking about what's probably going to steal the show of Tiffany Nieves versus Alejandro Lyon, then absolutely.
That's exactly what I was.
Yeah, thanks. See, we're friends. But no, I'm looking forward to that. Claudia and Shiva for sure. I want to see what Hybrid does in this like 4-team thing, because it's Hybrid. Zakai Living hates me.
There's a list, Tommy. I mean,
yeah, I know, but true story. So I was at work at HB one day, and I was getting stuff like from the friction, and he saw with the most disgusted look on his face and says, "You work here." I fell out laughing when he did that.
But keep it kayfabe, bro. Yeah, so
but it got even. I could do it even better. He said, because I saw him at the last RCW show. He said he works at HEB. I almost couldn't shop there anymore. I was like, "Yick, you absolute dick!" I was like, "That's fantastic."
It'd been funnier if he'd have been like, "You know what? Screw this. Just because you work there, I'm gonna go shop at Sprouts." Like just something like that.
Now, Zakai, I would have been better. You would have turned heel in Texas. Badmouth HEB. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's true. That's the surefire way. No, the main event looks interesting because I want to see where they're going with the whole Harlow Hyder and Bane. Actually, he's going to be at BOW the next month. He's facing Roddy Mack. That's going to be fun. And so just seeing Danny. I want to see Danny Moe again because I've become a fan of her since the last time I saw her. I've been finding clips of hers, and she's really good. And also, just happy to see MJ Santana back. Just gonna be. It's gonna be a good show. MPW has not. Say again.
No, go ahead. I know what you're gonna say, but
I was gonna say MPW has not disappointed us at all yet, and it's like every single show is so much fun. It's like even if it's not like it's not like the most spectacular whatever, but it's just a fun show. It's like we've never not had fun at a show. I feel like everyone's out there just works their asses off to have if not the best match, then just a really fun match. And to this and honestly, Mission Pro will always be cool with me for giving us that double casket match, which to this day I was one of the coolest matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was
because I'd never seen a double casket we had a casket elimination match before. I was like, first of all, who had two caskets just like yeah, borrow these? Hell, we need borrow. Who's worth these?
Yeah, I mean, there's that. Now I feel like you need like a four corners, casket elimination match or something.
Oh my god!
Like a gauntlet, if you will. Yeah, Jason's in there. He's right. We never.
Hey, Jason. Yeah, he's always.
Also, I don't mean to have a production meeting on air as we're doing this, and Tommy knows. But JC, I'm planning to see if we can get some of these talents into interviews in the next couple weeks.
For sure,
I'm going to talk to them, and one of them. That's at the top of the list because I'm really impressed with him out of Hybrid. That's Casey Blackrose, who is another admirer of Tommy. Always has good things to say when they interact. Never jumps in the middle of pictures that he's taking or anything.
Never makes me take a picture with him with a trophy he just won because he told me I have to.
Sounds like a really stand-up guy, especially going to the Valentine's Day show. He really does.
But no, he's really impressive. So I definitely want to. I'm going to see if we can get him on in the next couple weeks. To share his story and stuff. But yeah, and then they just do a good job of like bringing back people that you've really enjoyed, and then always introducing new people too. The Texas Treats. I don't know.
Good to see that, right?
They're attracting my hair. I've heard good things though. I've heard good things.
I know you mentioned the main event, and I think this one is going to be an interesting one. When Thunder Rosa was on the Billy Master Show, she talked about the setup for this. Really, that this was mostly about Harlow, Hyder, and Bane saying, why are we just getting second billing? Like, we deserve a shot, and it's almost the reverse of how it always would be. Like the women were always maybe opening a show or early match in an indie show and all that. So it's kind of, she started bringing men on as that role, and now it's reversed. And you wonder if this is going to be the start of a storyline where it's are the guys going to win this, especially when you have Jasmine Allure, Bougie Reality, all kind of like heel tweener characters. Are they really going to be able to work together to represent MPW?
Hey, I'm still kind of mad at Roche Chanel. She threw a candy cane at me. That jerk.
There should be an album with Tommy and Black Rose. It will fill up. Yeah,
man, don't even. Man, no, because I already got like 2 or 3 pictures with that jerk as a.
So yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out. Because if Harlow's team wins, you just know they're gonna ride this the whole year, especially when there's maybe 2 months for the next show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. And Harlow is that heel. I know you don't even know him. You've never seen him wrestle in person, but you love him because he wore an Astros jersey.
Yeah, that's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know, dude. Like this guy's badass. Hey.
So
yeah.
So my thing with this is I want to say this at the show so bad. Like the only reason Harlow was as high up on the card as he was is because he was facing Simon Miller. Other than that, he would have been opening the show.
And twice he's used nefarious means to keep Simon Miller.
Well, no, it didn't work the first time because didn't Simon Miller win the first?
Oh, did he? I feel like.
Yeah, I think Simon Miller. So they got so they have to have a tiebreaker, which means Simon Miller's got to come back. Yeah.
No.
Well, yeah, definitely bring him back.
Nothing wrong with nefarious
For sure.
means, as long as the win still stands. That's just the way I see it.
I mean, if the referee doesn't see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
all right, Eddie Guerrero, calm down.
Yeah. So, do you guys want to make picks on this event, or is there anything else you're looking forward to seeing, or do you want to shout out?
I don't know if we should make, because if I'm wrong, I feel like someone on this list will beat me up.
I'm going to take your picks to the event and then be like, look, guys, this is what Tommy didn't think you
No, you can't do that because I would never pick Casey Blackrose to win anything. Let's just start there. And because I'm wouldn't pick him, he'd beat me up regardless, whether he won the match or not.
This almost sounds fun. We could do this, and they could use that every match on the night. It's like, Tommy, you asshole, you picked against me. I mean, if they're watching the show,
because then I lose no matter what. If they win, like they hate me because I picked them because for some reason they had a harder match. If they lose, it's my because I did. I don't want to do
that. I mean, you make friends everywhere you go, Tommy. I don't know. You have no one else to blame.
Is that what we're calling it now? I feel like I'm going to be number
somehow,
one.
some way, you're finding ways to get into events for free, so you're making friends everywhere you go.
God!
Wait, are you paying for these front row tickets, by the way?
I paid for the tickets! I bought the tickets!
I don't want to see Thunder Rosa handing you a refund envelope when we go there on Saturday.
She's not going to hand me. I bought tickets!
Oh, good time.
I can't believe I sat on the floor at the Royal Rumble. And I knew I was never going to let this down after that happened. When I realized we were on the floor, I was like, oh. The first thing I told Lagaya was, oh my God, JC and Mike are never going to let me live this down that I'm on the floor for this day.
But you got to sit on the floor at the Royal Rumble, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got either those are your actual tickets or you found a way to sneak down there and make it the whole show, because I mean there's people that have done that, so
yeah, I think people in our section were doing that and the security just never caught them, so
and we're gonna tell them to move. That's where all the wrestlers were coming out, right? So
yeah.
But yeah, that main event is gonna be an interesting one, and my gut tells me the guys are gonna win, so that's almost where I'm leaning on that. So
interesting. Yeah. I mean,
it might be a riot in that, but damn it, Jason!
Yeah. So I mean that's just where my gut tells me on that. I think it's going to come down to Bougie Reality and Jasmine Allure just not being able to work together.
Might be a riot in that building if they do. I ain't lying to you, bro.
But hey, come on. You almost felt like the Dynamite fans are going to riot last night after the Acclaim loss. So why not? I mean, it's
I still stand by that booking of that happening because fantastic because everyone got so mad and I was like, exactly, guys. Someone I follow on TikTok said it's like you guys always complain about good booking or good storylines, but they only want them to go the way you want them to. Winning was actually my call.
No. That's the person you recommended. And I followed that person and disagreed.
Oh my God!
Videos they brought out. No,
did he say that? Oh God!
I think that was him because okay, let me tell you, he threw out this picture this picture on the TikTok, and it was like one of these factions and all the stuff they did has to go, and it was like DX, NWO, Horsemen, Bloodline, the Shield, New Day, maybe one other group. And no, it was Bullet Club. That's right, it's Bullet Club. And so I was like, "Ooh, you can't." And without hesitation, he jumps in and goes, "Horseman, easy, not even close." And I was like, "Excuse me, sir." And then I go to the comments, and people are like, "Yo, if it wasn't for the Horsemen, these groups don't exist." And he's like, "Well, that's just my opinion. That's how it works." Mm-hmm. And then later, someone goes, "Bullet Club, easy." And he's like, "Well, if we didn't have Bullet Club, we wouldn't have AEW and the Bucks." And I was like, "You can't do it both ways, man."
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Tommy. 1-star recommendation on that, dude. That's personal.
I didn't know he's the one who said it. I couldn't remember if it was him or somebody else.
I thought it was him. I thought he said something like that.
It probably was. It probably was. It's so funny because I remember you were replying to me saying 1-star recommendation. I couldn't stop laughing at that.
His video was also something about how like Sammy doesn't deserve to win the title because we don't understand storytelling. I was like, calm down, buddy.
Well, if you are watching this or catching us after the fact, leave a comment. Let us know what you're looking forward to most. And if you are attending MPW's Kickstart My Heart, which, by the way, I can get to the details now of that. I always forget to take this thing. Go away. All right. MPW KickStart My Heart this Saturday, February 11th, starting at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be at the Salvation Army Mission Corps, 3802 Southwest Military Drive in San Antonio, Texas. You can visit missionprowrestling.com for details on tickets. Or if you're not able to attend, you can watch it live on titlematchnetwork.com. Catching a lot of independent shows there on Title Match. You can go back and watch past shows. It's basically like the WWE Network of the Indies when you think about it. So
yeah, it has a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, so check it out. Going to be a great event, first one of the year. And I know that you're saying they're not have another show till April, but I feel like why not do one spring break week? You know, I mean, it could work out. You know, I think that'd be a great chance. So
I mean,
it's just not typical, but there's no saying that they couldn't. I mean, especially they will get a crowd. They will get a crowd.
Right now, the next show is scheduled for April 22nd, which coincides with Oyster Bake. Yeah, Fiesta's kicking off that week, so you know.
Look, they're like ACW was for me. They're having a show. I'm going.
Yeah.
So whenever they got one, yeah, Jason, we'll make sure we all get. Although last show sitting kind of a little away from Tommy was kind of cool because I didn't get that residual like heat from all the wrestlers, and I got to yell at Tommy myself. I was like, Tommy, be quiet, let them start the match. But we'll try. You know, we do what we do.
He also had a comment: if it weren't for Okada and Omega, there would be no AEW. Yeah. So
actually, yeah, that.
I mean, hey, it's the way things work out, you know. So
yeah.
All right. Now, quickly before we get into the 1 minute warning segment, I do want to quickly shout out my friend Phil, who is been joining us on the Sports Minorities podcast this week. He's the only Jacksonville Jaguars fan I can tolerate, but he himself is not a huge wrestling fan. But his son has gotten into it more and more, and he decided to buy tickets to the Royal Rumble. Yes, they were nosebleed seats. And he was like, you know what, I'm just going to check this out. And he scans his tickets, and they said, you need to go to the ticket office, sir. He's like, oh, God, what the hell's going on? Went to the ticket office. They gave him some new tickets, and he got to sit in the 100s without paying a dime to upgrade. So I think you were mentioning, Tommy, about how some people had to get moved around, whether it was obstruction view, who knows if it was the WrestleMania sign, if it was curtain stuff getting curtained off, or they needed seat fillers or something. I don't know. But him and his son were able to attend it. I'm working on the latest Sports Minorities podcast. It should be up tomorrow. Towards the end of the show, he talks about his experience there. Cool. But really just, you know, he had a good time and didn't have to pay a dime, got a decent view. His son had a blast, and he's looking forward to attending more wrestling events. So, you know, yeah.
It's always nice to see other people get the
tell them to come to Mission Pro.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to get independence. I did mention watching a little bit of AEW as well. You know, that there's more, you know, just WWE. Just check it out. And when he was asking about the tickets for Rumble too, I was like, well, if they're too pricey, there's always AEW when it was going to be in December too in San Antonio. So, which does remind me, by the way, AEW is going to be in Laredo this coming Wednesday. So, if you're in that area, go check it out. The same as Auto Arena. There is not a bad seat in that house. I'm telling you, I feel like there's better view in every seat than the Freeman Coliseum. It's that nice of an arena, and it's that small too. So yeah. Now with that, we can move into our 1 minute warning segment. And I realized I didn't upload the countdown. Mike, do you have anything this week while I get this ready?
You know, I don't think I really do this week. I think I'm pass.
Tommy, what about you?
I got something. It's probably too long though, but yeah.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, sir, set and go.
Okay, so this coming Saturday is also the new in Osaka for New Japan, and it is the Loser Leaves Japan match between Jay White and Hikuleo. So this is the match everyone assuming is where Jay White will be losing and going and leaving New Japan. If that is the case, then than more than a lot of reports saying he's going to end up in WWE. If that is the case, sweet heavenly Father, WWE, do not ruin Jay White. He is acting heel in wrestling right now. Sweet Jesus in heaven, do not ruin Jay White. Let him be Jay White. For the love of God. Even if you can use the term switchblade, fine, whatever. Let him be just not butter knife. I don't know why that was the first thing I almost said. But anyway, just let him be the heel that he has grown to. Jay White is hands down one of the best talents in the last few years. So he started from the Young Lions program in New Japan, and he's made it to like the top of New Japan. Invented Wrestle Kingdom like 2 or 3 times at this point. That's unheard of for a guy who started as for a foreigner to do that. So he's going to WWE. Don't ruin him, please, for the love of God. But okay, you know what? That would be awesome. I would love that because he'd be hated immediately, and I'm happy. But
would he be cheering?
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, Mike, now that you say that, I don't know. But wait, just don't ruin him, please. Thank you. If he goes anywhere besides the WWE, he'll be fine because he knows what he's doing. So yeah.
My women and warriors is a 2-part, and actually Jason's comment kind of ties into that. So let me kind of get this going here. First things first, WWE, or rather I should say, the next WWE game announced some of the NXT talent that's going to be appearing in the next video game. We got Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Nikita Lyons, Cora Jade, and Roxanne Perez are going to be included as playable characters in a WWE 2K23. So very cool to see that for Roxanne Perez. Very, very, I think everyone's all very proud of you. Probably going to get the t-shirt. I think it looks pretty cool too. I know Tina wants one as well. So, but the Cody WrestleMania thing, obviously, I talked last week about some potentials for like a bloodline elimination chamber match, which doesn't look like it's happening. But my thought too with Cody is you really have to protect how this goes down. I think the consensus is that people are thinking that Cody's gonna dethrone Roman Reigns one way or another, whether it's one or both titles at WrestleMania. But if you beat Roman, where do you go next with Cody? And that's kind of the big question. What happens next? What left is there for do? He dethroned arguably the biggest heel in the company. But, how often does Cody start face, turn heel? Maybe Jay White attacking Cody wouldn't be such a bad idea, depending how the match plays out. If Cody starts getting his little heel tendencies, maybe something works out there, and people might potentially cheer Jay White showing up. So,
you know why? One reason why I do want that to happen now, because now that Jason said it, that sounds like a perfect scenario. I want him to yell something like, "You be nothing without us," and he never says Bullet Club, but said, "Had it not been for us, you wouldn't have made it this far," or something like that, just screaming it at his face, because Jay White's a psychopath, and that's one reason why he's so great. So I feel like, but I honestly feel like his first feud would be with Seth Rollins, because the crowd would be so amazingly split. Because Seth, I don't. The funny part is like I don't think Seth had an official face turn during all this. I just think people cheered him so much they just trying to make him a heel. Yeah, I don't think he ever had a face turn where he was just like, "I'm still Seth freaking Rollins, and you're all gonna sing my theme song anyways."
No,
that's how it usually works, So.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was so loud in that arena when he came out for the Rumble and we started singing. It was so, that was one of the loudest pops of the night. We singing it. Yeah. And it's so crazy to remember the Tyler Black of Ring of Honor, part of Age of the Fall, and now seeing him in fur coats and dancing and laughing all the way down. He to me could be like Jericho in a few years. Just doesn't matter. If a gimmick gets stale, screw it. He'll skip to another one, and he'll just keeping himself fresh over and over again. So
speaking of Jericho, that theme is starting to rival Judas and cut the music and the crowd just keeps going.
Yeah,
they just keep singing that. And granted, it's not words, it's not the words of the song, but they just keep that
but
going the whole time.
But I get what you mean. But for another wrestler to get that same reaction as Jericho gets with Judas, and that's monumental and good for Seth.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Thank you everybody for watching our this week's episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. Once again, Mike and Tommy will be attending Mission Pro this weekend from the Salvation Army Mission Corps on Military Drive, and this will be available also on Title Match Network as well. Next week, we're going to be recapping Mission Pro's KickStart My Heart and preview WWE Elimination Chamber. Yes. They always do the chamber. Wow. It's already that quick, yeah. And then they get a little break before Mania. They always take that time off. But in between, don't worry. Impact has a pay-per-view scheduled.
Woohoo! Impact
AEW also has one scheduled within that time, so it's not like wrestling's not going to happen, you know. Also want to point out the Countdown City Geeks website, countdowncitygeeks.com, is up and running, guys. Check it out. Some of the latest articles, news. We're able to post, you know, some stories in there, kind of almost like a blog articles as well, like that too.
Yep.
I think you guys should be set up in there as well if you're able to get in there. Talking about all the latest in geek news, wrestling news, ghost heads, and just a little bit of backstory. It's amazing to me. You even got, like, you know, some of our own little profiles in there as well. But when I joined the Geekcast years ago, it's been almost 5 years, I think now, how much this has grown, and I'm proud of it, you know, especially with this show too. So but check out countdowncitygeeks.com for some of the latest here as well. So and if you're attending Mission Pro this weekend, be sure to tweet at us at CCG_WrestleCast. I actually should put the overlay back up. There we go. And let us know your thoughts on the show. We can shout those out next week when we recap the show.
Come say hi. I mean, if Tommy doesn't know you, that's a shock. But I mean, I'd like to meet you as well.
Mike, are you planning to wear that T-shirt to the show as well?
Yeah, this is what I'm going to be wearing as well for the show.
I actually don't know what shirt I'm wearing yet. I got to figure that out, but I don't know. It'll be something related.
And I might have a couple signs. We'll see how that goes.
Cool.
I'm so terrified.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I'm pretty sure that's still running it, but yeah, the logo's changed a little bit. So, little update on the CCG logo. You know, that old school logo. I like to rock the retro, so I might hang on to that one for a little bit. So, anyway.
Yeah. Well, the classics never go out of style. Okay.
Hey, I'm a retro gamer too as well, so you know.
I mean, same. So,
yeah.
Remember when all we wanted to do was just sit around and talk wrestling?
Yeah.
Now look where
Pretty amazing stuff.
We still get to do that, just other stuff too.
I know.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I know, just more cool stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, just to connect to Countdown City Geeks, Rex Manning Day and Wonderlands of the America. Empire Records is such a freaking awesome movie, and we're getting Rex Manning Day.
Rex Manning Day. Yes, not just that. Tina's pretty excited about it because she wants to get her copy of Grease 2 autographed. Because if you haven't seen Grease 2, you forget that he's also the actor.
I haven't. But...
Wow,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah, Rex Manning Day. That Empire Records is such a quintessential 90s movie.
I need to see if my sister still has her VHS of that film. Maybe I can get that autographed, you know.
Nice.
So
so check out the Countdown City Geek social media. There's already posts about that. It's at Wonderlands of America in March, and I'm sure we'll mention it again throughout the weeks. But you made me think, I was like, Rex Manning Day. That's awesome.
It's so great, man. So it's Rex Manning Day. I feel like Ethan Embry, you know. Thank you, everyone, again for joining us. Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Reach for the sky. Catch you next week. Enjoy your Super Bowl weekend, everybody.
Adios, Gunther.